Hello everyone, I'm A.D. Ramsey of Davita Handcraft Soap, here to make an experiment using some hyaluronic acid. Am I pronouncing that properly? Probably not. So I ordered some because my favorite moisturizer by Nivea is made with this particular ingredient. And I've had this for a while. I said the next time I run out of my face cream, I will try to make it myself. So I did a little research, and this recipe seems super easy, and I really want to give it a try and see if it's just this easy. I don't know. So we have a clean jar. This jar here, I don't know what was in it. It must have been something homemade because it doesn't have the label, but I can vaguely see a date that I printed on here. Maybe it was some sea moss or something. That's probably what it was. But it's a nice, perfect size for this experiment. First, we're going to measure out some water, which I'm going to measure it out over here in case I spill. So I want to be pretty precise, even though I'm using a tablespoon instead of the weight. Oh, you know what? Let's start off. Hold on. So when I write the recipe down, I'll feel more comfortable using weight than measuring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so now that we have the water measured in, we're going to take some glycerin, which this is an optional step. I purchased this right off of Amazon, and this is the vegetable glycerin. I don't use glycerin in my soaps, so I'm sure a lot of you probably will have this right in your homes, but I didn't. And if you have this particular size container or top that you might get for all kind of oils, this is the what is it, the 410 top that you buy usually for your lotions and body wash tops. It's the same size, so you can keep that and reuse it. So we're going to pour that in. I'm not going to scrape it because I don't want my fingers, since I don't have on any gloves. This is going to be just for me, but still. Yes. Just a little bit of that. Oh, and I messed up. Oh, no. That was too much. That was supposed to be a half a teaspoon. But you know what? That's okay. Since I wrote down the water measurement, I can just double this recipe. Ah, look at that. There you go. Okay. And we need now, the recipes that I found online, they did not have a preservative, but I'm going to put a preservative in mine because once I do the initial 1, 2, 3, 4. So I was just going to put 2 drops in, but I doubled this recipe, so I'll put 4 drops in. And now we're going to put in our acid. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And I'm not going to put a heaping teaspoon in here. I'm going to measure this out properly. Chop it going this way. And then you level it out. And that's a proper teaspoon. So that's 1, 2. And it suggests that you put 1 teaspoon to 1 1/4. So since we doubled this, we'll put 1 1/2, 2 1/2. Okay. We're going to give this a little mix. Oh boy. Ooh. Ooh. You're supposed to shake this. And now I see why. Because it's super clumpy. Uh-oh, guys. I think I messed this up by trying to use the little... Oh boy. I can't get it to... Uh-oh. Okay, so if you try this, don't try to mix it that way. Go ahead and put the lid on your container and give it a good shake. Yeah, that's working out way better. Make sure you sterilize and clean your jar out properly as well. But this is just for me. So you can see it's getting a little thick. Definitely not as thick as I would want it. And it's not mixed properly. You can still see big chunks of white in there. I guess you could put some citric acid in there too if you wanted to, but let's one thing at a time, one thing at a time. So this is what it looks like for right now. We'll set a timer and come back and give it another shake in 2 hours. All right, everyone, this is how it turned out. And I refrigerated this concoction for about 2 hours. I'm going to leave it in there overnight, but let's take a little sample. I'll put it in a different container than this. Ooh. Gonna rub it and see if it has that sticky feeling from the glycerin. Let's see. And I don't know if I like this. Let's see if it absorbs into the skin. Because your hands should really, I didn't do that properly. Because your hands or face actually would be a little, it's supposed to be wet before you apply it. Yeah, no, we got to start all over. Because this glycerin is too much. It's way too much. Because I can feel it. Okay, let's make some adjustments here. Because that glycerin is way too thick. Way too much. Let's start over and I'll bring you back in another 2 hours. Okay, so we added the water. It's still pretty thick. Maybe I should let it get to room temperature. My hands are already damp. And let's see. Yeah. We're going to start all over. This was test number 1. And it's not a complete fail. Let me see if I shear it out. What it feels like. Let it dry down. Let's give that. I'm going to put it all over my arm. And let's give it a couple of minutes and see what it feels like once it dries down. Okay, so that was about 30 seconds. And it dried out pretty well. And even this arm right here, which I didn't rub in. But I can still, it still feels a little sticky though. I don't know. Yeah, see, it still has a little stickiness to it. Maybe that would make a nice primer if you wear makeup, because it still has a little tack, so the makeup can have something to grab onto. So this was a bust, but we will try again and see how it turns out. Okay, so I remade another batch. And I just recently took it out the refrigerator, and as you can see, this one looks a lot smoother. So I'm going to give this a try for a couple of weeks. And it definitely doesn't have the same consistency as a commercial product, but I really like it, and it's nowhere near as sticky as it was. So I think for my next attempt, I'm going to mix it with maybe a over-the-counter moisturizer and see exactly what happens. So I'm still on a journey, but I'm going to transfer it into my previous container and see how it works. All right. If you like the shenanigans that we do here on this channel, please consider subscribing. Thank you. Bye.